Welcome to the LGBTQ Real Estate Podcast, connecting LGBTQ homebuyers, sellers, and real estate pros since 2007. My name is Jeff Berger. I'm the host of the show, and with us is a very special guest. I know him for many years through work, through real estate, Ronnie DeBenedetta of Prescott and Phoenix, Arizona. Ronnie, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here. I'm kind of hiding my head a little bit because there's a light right above me and it's kind of glaring off my bald head.
Well, you look great. It's a spotlight, okay?
That's exactly what it is, my halo.
Yeah, it's a halo. Heaven is shining down on you.
Something is.
Yeah, well, Ronnie, share with us a little bit about yourself, both personally and professionally, real
Okay,
briefly.
you bet. I was living in San Diego for about 20 years. Met the love of my life. We got married. We had 2 children. His job took him to Prescott, Arizona. So I gave up my teaching job as a dancer and followed him to Arizona and had the opportunity to be a stay-at-home dad. And I think I would have been bored silly. We moved here on the 6th of December, and by the 8th of January, I was enrolled in real estate school and decided to get my license again. I had my license for about 7 years in Las Vegas in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah,
Enjoyed it and decided to get my license again.
wow. Well, I
So
love
it's
your
been
story.
fun.
Yeah, I love your story. That beautiful breezy weather in San Diego must have been a challenge getting used to Arizona, but it sounds like the story and this, moving with the kids out there must have been really exciting.
It has been exciting. I left San Diego kicking and screaming, going, I'm leaving my friends, I'm leaving my family, I'm leaving my community. We live in a pretty small town, about an hour and a half north of Phoenix. And when Phoenix is sitting at 100 and 120 degrees, we are pretty cool. We are mile high here, beautiful community, 4 mild
Nice.
seasons. And we just love it. I do work, as you said earlier, I do work both the Phoenix market and the Prescott market. I do go all the way from Sedona all the way up to Williams. And I'm down in Phoenix at least once or twice a week, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less.
Beautiful. Well, what we just spoke about is so important because, so many people, they're relocating for work, they're relocating for family, whatever it may be. And everything that you just said is, such a microcosm of a move. So
Absolutely.
that was just great. That was just great. I think people who are watching this show can actually relate to it, or they're going to experience it. So it's very
Right.
nice. So I know you have many LGBTQ clients. We've spoken over the years. What is it about working with the LGBTQ community? I always get tongue twisted on that. It's so long. I'm sorry. It
It's a
used to
lot of
be
alphabets.
it used to be the gay and lesbian community, then the LGBTQ community. I mean, it's like, okay. Getting back to what we were saying, what is it about working with the LGBTQ community that you enjoy so much?
Commonality, I think. I'm one of the late bloomers. I came out at 40,
Mm,
spent the first 40 years of my life just kind of on path for what I thought was where my life should be. And then at 40, when I came out, to find that community, that acceptance, the things that I had been looking for quite some time, was just eye-opening to me. It was
mm.
a transition that was so much easier than I thought it was going to be because so many people had paved the way before I even got there. And then kind of pivoting to people that are just kind of like-minded, where you can be yourself in front of. You don't have to hide who you are. One of the things for me in moving to Prescott, very, very conservative town, and I'm not just talking politically, I'm talking some of the mindset is a little bit more conservative here. I lived in San Diego, I lived in Hillcrest. I walked out my front door and there were 10 rainbow flags within an eye shot. We just don't see that up here. So when people are moving to an area where the community is not that fully represented, it's nice to know that there's an ally. And so I am that person for people. And when they pass through my community, I'm glad that they're those kind of people for me as well. And so it kind of goes both ways. I'm here to help, and believe it or not, they're here to help me as well.
Yeah, that sounds great. It is such a journey for us all, and you said it
Mhm.
well. So I know you're very passionate about your community. Okay. Anyone could see that already.
Absolutely.
Um, Share with us why you love living in your community. For example, your favorite parts of the town or the city or, the mountains. You may want to share with us a little bit about the art scene, dining, great coffee shops, wine bars, things that people would enjoy in addition to the job market.
Got it. Job market is a little bit trickier here. We don't have any huge industry. We
Mhm.
do have some colleges. We do have some medical. We have service industry. We do have jobs here,
Mm.
but not the big, huge money-making jobs. Doctors, lawyers, all those things. What do I like about living here? Like I said, 4 mild seasons. We had a winter where we had 2 days of snowfall. We
Mm.
had 1 day of school closure, only because they were preemptive, not because it was needed. There's a lot of family out here. I don't know that I would have moved here without having children, but it's a great place to raise kids. We were living in San Diego. Crime's a little bit high, schools are a little bit dispersed, they're all over the place.
Mm.
And there's just a great sense of community. We moved here, like I said, beginning of December. By Christmas time, we were downtown in the square. The square has just Christmas lights everywhere, the festivities, the cool air. We were from San Diego with the hats and the gloves and the scarves and the jackets because it was 55 degrees. And just absolutely fell in love with it. 2 days later, we were downtown for just a parade, and
Mm.
there's always something going on around this town with parks and hiking trails and mountains and an hour and a half to Phoenix, 2 hours to Grand Canyon, 3 hours to Las Vegas. We can get just about anywhere. And about 5 years ago, we actually found a place called Rocky Point, Puerto
Mm.
Penasco, which is 4 hours and 45 minutes south of here into Mexico.
Mm.
So within 5 hours, I can be from my mountain town or sitting sea level at the beach. And it's a lot of exciting things going on here. Great restaurants, great coffee shops, very small town feel.
That's amazing because, when you get out of your 9 to 5 or whatever keeps you busy, it's so nice to know that you have that, you got that staycation with the mountains and the trails and the beautiful things to
Yes.
do and the downtown. And then you have your, weekend getaways that are just, short drive away considerably, right?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's been fantastic. A lot of times in a small town, we've got about 150,000 people that live here, and you can
Mm.
kind of get that little cabin fever, and you want to get out and you want to do big things. We've got all the things here. We've got most of the chain restaurants here. We've got a little bit of a shopping mall. Any exciting shopping is going to be down in Scottsdale or down in the Phoenix area. And again,
Mhm.
hour and 20, hour and 30 minutes, and you're sitting right there door to door. So it's
Sounds
kind of the
nice.
best of both worlds.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of great things about Prescott over the years, and it's all true. It's a
Right.
pretty place.
Rush hour
And
traffic is shooing some javelina or deer out of your way. Once in a while, you're
mm,
driving down a road and there's a cow in the middle of the road. So
yeah,
rarely do we have rush hour traffic. So we avoid a lot of the big city stuff,
yeah.
low crime, things like that. But if we want any of that stuff, including the crime, it's just down the hill.
Well, I guess that's good to know where not to go, right?
Exactly, exactly. Now,
Yeah.
everywhere's just great around here. We really love it. I didn't know that I would love it as much as we did.
That's great. And so I know someone watching this, stumbled upon it because they searched for LGBTQ realtor in Phoenix or Prescott, and
Mhm.
they've got something going on that they're interested in real estate. So tell us a little bit about the diverse housing stock that you work with. Not necessarily, what's on sale now and the prices now, because everything's fluctuating. But what do you work with in your markets?
Work with a little bit of everything. We sell everything from vacant land to single family homes, multifamily, commercial. I think I've got one of each in escrow right now, and more plexes coming on the market every day. Um, I'm willing to work with anybody for anything. We've got people. I had some clients last year, first time home buyers came to me and they say, "Hey, we've saved a whole bunch of money and we're ready to buy a house." And I said, "Fantastic. Let's get you with the lender. Lender, how much money have you saved?" And they said, about $5,000. And I think the perception is that you have to have a whole lot of money to become a homeowner. You
Mm.
need to put 20% down or 25% down, and that's not true. With some
Mhm.
FHA programs, we've got 3.5% down. With conventional, we've got some 5% down. We managed to get them in with $1,800 out of pocket, and they're now homeowners. We've got a down payment
Wow,
assistance program. So we got them into a house, this beautiful family, two kids, and they're now homeowners, accumulating
that's
generational
fabulous.
wealth. So yeah, it's life changing for people. Really life changing for people. This has helped people build wealth, and to help a young family get in there and get their foot in the market has been fantastic.
Yes, and that's really important that you said that because there are so many different programs with,
Hmm.
3.5% down FHA. I'm only repeating what you said for people that, may not be familiar with it. And home ownership is so important. So that's great. That's great.
Absolutely. I'm also part of, as you know, through a lot of these websites and links and communities, I help people all over the country. I've got friends in Florida that have called, in Colorado that have called, in Washington. Hey, I really want to buy a house. What do I need to do? If you're not in my community, call me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I've got resources in every city in every state across the country. If I don't, I pick up a phone, I call realtors, I interview them as though I'm going to hire them for myself to make sure that they're a good fit for whoever I'm calling, and I make the referral and I make the connection. So, like I said, we're nationwide.
That's great. That's great. And yeah, well, so I know there are so many questions that LGBTQ individuals and families may have, and I know you've answered so many of them already,
Mhm.
but what else should LGBTQ families and individuals know that are moving to your area? Like, for example, are there a lot of things going on? Like you said, you're a dance teacher, right?
I am. I am. I was a competitive dancer for about 20 years.
Wow.
Excuse me, for about 20 years. Gave that up when we moved here. I still teach a little bit. I've got some
Hmm.
dance classes that I teach on Tuesday nights. I've got a dance that I host once a month. There are things that I still do to keep my foot in the dance community. I travel to a few dance events. There's one called WWLA. It's right in, I believe it's Burbank, or Ontario. I got to go check. But if you go to WWLA, you'll see it. It's a same-sex dance community. Where men are following, women are leading. It's not a gender specific thing. It's a
Hmm.
role thing. Like, what role are you playing? Are you the leader or are you the follower? And we just take gender stereotypes, throw them out the window, and we're just there to have fun. So dance has been a big, big part of my life, and it's carried through when we moved here. So I do a lot of that as well. Love dancing. Love dancing. Like I said, it was my career before this became my career.
Great, great. So when it comes to activities in the area, for example, for
Mhm.
LGBTQ families in the community, there's so much going on, right?
There is. Now, it just kind of depends on what people are looking for.
Hmm.
We've never been bar scene people.
Hmm.
My husband doesn't drink. He's Filipino and was born without that enzyme that digests alcohol. So I always have a designated driver.
Huh?
But it just kind of depends on what people are looking for. They've just started when we first moved here. They did a Prescott Pride. It was at a big park. It was mildly attended. We went to one this past summer. My daughter wanted to go. I took her with me. She's 10. And it was just a small little thing, but just to see like-minded people getting together and celebrating with pride. It's been wonderful. It's been a welcoming community. No one has been judgmental. We were a little nervous moving, going, and a lot of the LGBTQ community that has called me and, hey, we're thinking about moving there. Can you tell me what it's like?
Hmm.
And great, I can speak firsthand experience. Again, moving from Hillcrest and in San Diego, California, to a small
Hmm.
conservative town in Arizona, we didn't know what to expect. And
Yes,
everybody's been wonderful and welcoming. So, and I think a lot of it is what you put out there.
yeah,
So we're
I would
I,
agree.
we're proud. We are who we are. My kids are proud. We fit in with the community. We contribute quite a bit, and like I said, it's been a wonderful community.
That's awesome. So lastly, we're at our last question.
Hmm.
When you're not helping people buy and sell homes, What do you like to do in your free time?
Ooh, I do like to go down to Mexico. We love to go down to the beach. We went down 2 weeks ago. We're
Nice.
heading down this weekend. If there's a holiday and the kids have
Mm.
an extra day off, we plop them in the car and we just head south.
Wow.
We do some staycations. We love what's going on in town, but we like to travel a little bit. We'll go to San
Mm.
Diego, we go to Vegas, we go down to Phoenix. We'll stay in Scottsdale a couple times a year. Sometimes it's in the winter when it's a little cooler here and it's a little bit warmer there. Sometimes we go down in the dead of summer so we can sit in the pool in 120-degree weather. Just a lot of fun. We've got great
Yeah.
arts and movies. There's a wonderful music community out here. There are bands
Mm.
almost every night of the week somewhere out here.
Nice.
Little two-piece bands, three-piece bands, and you can just sit down, listen to music, have a drink, and enjoy life. So yeah, it's a great community. Like I said, I do service both communities. If you want something more fast-paced and upbeat and a lot more people, Phoenix, Scottsdale, that whole area is a great community as well. If you want
Mhm.
something a little bit slower, a little bit quieter, we've got dark laws out here, which means you've got street lights on some of the main roads, but the houses, any of the lights have to face down, not up. We've got clear skies.
Mm.
We're mile high. We've got fresh, clean air and just beautiful night gazing and stargazing. It's amazing. You got to come check it out.
Yeah, and that's really interesting that you said that there are laws that the lights have to shine down because so often lights shining up just, you know,
It
the
dims
sky
the
illuminates
stars.
and you can't see anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anytime there's a meteor shower, there's something passing by in the sky, something that needs to be seen. We turn off all the lights in the house. We get out into our grass. We just lay up and look at the stars,
Yeah,
and
it's so beautiful.
you'd be impressed how many there are actually up there versus what you see driving down a normal street at night.
Yeah. Well, this has been great. I know it's going to be very enlightening for someone who wants to reach out to you, learning this information, knowing about you, and we will see you all on YouTube.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for doing this. It's been a lot of fun. And like I said, if people have questions, whether it's in my town, in the state of Arizona, or any state across the country, call me. Number's right there.
Great. Thank you, Ronnie.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
A pleasure. Okay, bye.
Bye.